Kanavi, which is arguably even more powerful, depending on what bottom lane they get for him to play through. Let's see what they do end up getting in first pick and what Hanwha Life eSports want to do this time around. Because like you said, there were issues with just getting caught by like the Bard, Magical Journeys, and Kanavi's pretty obvious ganks. But as the space mentioned, the draft was just kind of illegal to give over to the side of Hanwha Life eSports. They have decided not to ban any junglers this time. I'm going to go for the Jace and the Karma. The Ezreal was also banned last game, so it is available. Rise taken away from Zeka.
Looks like they're angling for a Pantheon first pick.
But then Jarvan goes over to Kanavi.
Well, if I were HLE, I would probably leave both open and just pick the other one. Because Kanavi on Pantheon is also pretty deadly.
Yeah, they can just ban Ashe or Seraphine here. If you're Hanwha Life eSports. Ashe has been more common.
Or Ezreal, if you're,
Yeah.
If you're worried about that. But Karma's already banned. They're just going to ban LeBlanc.
They're going to tell DN Supers that if you pick Pantheon, we're picking Azir. But they will pick the Jarvan. They are going to take it away from Kanavi. Aha. The problem is Kanavi now gets Pantheon, so.
Yeah.
Pantheon's pretty good. Kanavi's pretty good.
That's sometimes why we see teams that are the underdogs from first pick side ban a really OP pick, because they don't want something like this to happen. They don't want two OP junglers to be left up and have, this guy be able to play something very comfortable that's really high tier.
For me, I'm kind of a little bit less concerned about Delight's Karma than I am about Kanavi having either of these junglers. Like, to me. I mean, I know Karma is broken, but...
Yeah, I kind of agree.
By the way, they get Pantheon and Ashe Seraphine. Yeah, it's...
Or maybe they just pick Gnar Seraphine here, and, it's pretty good with Jarvan.
Could be the answer.
But instead...
Safe Gnar, question mark.
Mel. And Mel.
They also... banned the LeBlanc, but now we'll go for a Seraphine pick over the Azir, you have to imagine. Mel is really good into Ashe Seraphine, actually, because the rebuttal value is insanely high.
Mm-hmm.
But I think if you play it correctly, that shouldn't be a problem. Huh. Azir over Seraphine? I don't think so. Yeah, I don't think so, Zeka. Zeka was trying to pull a Kanavi where he was like, this is my... No, it's not. Sorry. Kanavi told you to lock the Seraphine in.
Yeah.
And you're going to do it.
Owen's like, yes, sir. That was a great choice, Kanavi. All right.
I'm here to validate you.
What should we ban next? I'm just curious what your thoughts are. Pyke is a great choice. It's so funny how Kanavi went from like this guy who just always went too deep, and
so the
now he controls the team.
Yeah, well, they finally started following him. Pyke Mel is a strong bottom duo, actually. So I like this Pyke ban a lot, even though the Mel is probably going to the mid lane. Very flexible here for Clozer and deokdam. Vayne has been a common answer to the Gnar. Will they ban Cannon now, or what is their game plan here? Honestly, I feel like you could play almost anything. Here is Zeus, which is kind of problematic. He could play even the Renekton here, and I'd feel pretty good about their chances because they have a Pantheon on their side. Annie is still being considered, and even though we've seen some funny interactions where she cues herself, it is very strong in the Mel otherwise.
It's just really good.
But it's Mel. It's Mel bottom lane, like we were talking about before.
Yeah, deokdam is a guy that always goes to the Ziggs. He does like his mages, and he's gonna go for the Mel into the Ashe Seraphine, and Rell immediately gets locked in, and it's Yone.
That was the pick that you talked about earlier on in game one that we used to see flexed a lot for the team.
Summoned it.
And here it is. And so Zeus will be playing Yone into Gnar in the top lane.
Look at Odin's face.
I look at the draft here for the Supers, and I think it's a really good draft. If they are able to rebut some of these Seraphine ultimates, or even some of her roots at the right timing, Ashe Arrow also rebuttable. You know, maybe. I mean, that's what I always say. You're able to be rebutted. I think rebuttable is the correct.
No, it just sounds
ending.
Great. It rolls right off the tongue.
Yeah, it's well. I mean, I didn't design the name of the thing. They could have just called it Reflect. But you know,
no, it's too simple for. We need to make it more interesting.
But the draft is really good here for the Supers. To be honest, they have really strong team fighting power. I just worry about how the laning phase is going to go. Worry a little bit about the Pantheon.
Is the Annie top lane?
Did they swap it?
Did they swap it?
They did. I was going to talk about how it was
the crowd is going
possible,
wild, and then I look behind me and I see Annie in the top lane. Well, like, huh?
When the crowd first went intense and the commentators went high was when it was the Yone that was locked top after the swap. But perhaps one of the commentators said, and I didn't hear, that he thought the Annie was going top. Maybe that's why they reacted that way. And then the swap happened after I was busy talking about rebuttable. So it is going to be Annie top.
More important things to talk about.
Which makes more sense to me, honestly, than what they had set up otherwise.
Yeah. Well, we're ready for game 2. Hopefully we get to see some League of Legends this time. Okay, well, this is
a little...
not exactly what I meant.
A little bit of a level 1 Ashe situation. A little bit of a lost flash for the Azir. So, I was not really feeling great about Yone into Gnar. But I thought, okay, Zeus could probably pull this off. And I was going to...
He's done it before, though.
Yeah, I was going to entertain the thought of an Annie top. But then they swapped it, and then the Korean commentators got really loud, and I was like, all right, well, you know, that's the end of that. Let's talk about rebuttable. And then he did actually move Annie to the top lane, has Electrocute, and is going to be playing another ranged top laner into the Gnar. He is kind of the Kennen guy. You know, he's played a lot of Kennen into Gnar. He likes to play that. Likes to play Kennen into Renekton. Sometimes plays AD Kennen, and it doesn't work, but it's very interesting. But Annie now is a new thing. It's his first time playing it, I believe, career-wide.
Is this the first time we've had Annie top?
I want to doubt. I want to doubt that. I feel like that Annie has been one of the most flexible champions in League of Legends history. So I'm gonna think there has been one other time. But I don't know that for sure. Well, we will have the graphic to tell us.
I think I'm on. I think you're right, Wolf.
Nope.
No, we're both wrong.
Oh, no! Well, I mean, I was right that it was Zeus' debut. I was looking that up right now.
Yeah.
But, I mean, at least here in the LCK, I don't think he's ever played it internationally. I definitely would have remembered that.
I feel like we should have seen this earlier, though.
Yeah, it does seem like it would make sense, doesn't it?
I guess Annie wasn't ever really, like, a big meta pick. I mean, we used to see it all the time in mid, right? But
and sometimes support.
Yeah.
It was pretty meta in support for a while.
Like, when you consider that Gnar, especially early on, really struggles into anything with range, and the fact that Annie just brutalizes anyone in the mid lane with her range, like, you just add 2 and 2 together, and the only one who could do it was Zeus, I guess.
His name is 4 letters. Because you said add 2 and 2
yeah,
together, so I was
sense.
Trying to like make it into a 4 thing. Zeka, also known to play Annie, is another 4-letter Z player on this squad. Only 2 of them, though. No other 4-letter Z players. Only 2. Which is a lot, but, you know, as far as League of Legends player names go. So, Canyon is not in this game. I don't know why I just called Kanavi Canyon, but Kanavi is on the top side here and does not have his ultimate. He will be seen on this ward if he wants to make a play for this. Let's see if DuDu falls into his trap.
Flash, W, stun. He gets the hop off, though, and DuDu, oh, he's going to flash after him. Of course he will. For some reason, the Q is not going to hit, though. And now Peter's here.
On to charge the Q. Point-blank range Q wouldn't have killed. Not sure that Q would have killed either, but it would have done a lot of damage. Well, if the question is Kanavi there? DuDu was like, can I go back to this wave? Kanavi might be there. The answer is always yes. We have already explained this. But, you know, DuDu wasn't listening to the global cast. He was talking to his coaching staff and stuff.
Yeah.
He's still there, by the way, which you also have explained.
No, but this time, Pyosik with the one-up on him. And Pyosik is here, and Zeus doesn't have flash because he used it to try to gank DuDu. And that's first blood over to DuDu.
Okay. They knew he was still there. And they played around that.
Crazy.
They were like, look, he's definitely still there. And I think probably somebody was like, I don't know, man. That's a lot. He already used flash. That's a lot of resources. How long is he going to stay up there? And Pyosik was like, I've studied enough. I've seen enough. I played game 1. So, it is a kill going over to the Gnar, which also gives a little CS lead. Nothing crazy, but about a wave the advantage here to DuDu, who grabs his Merc Treads actually off this back, which is massive for just absorbing the Annie buttons and then playing the lane. I am a big fan of playing Mel in the bottom lane because of the role quests and how much money you get outside the lane, as well as she does really well into a lot of range supports because of her rebuttal. She also has a root. Yes. Buttling again.
Wow. Annie pressed R.
Yeah, the Merc Treads aren't that good, but, you know, that helped. DuDu does not have level 6, but he's getting a little bit closer here. All right. Over here, the Mel. You know, like I was saying, I like the Mel in this spot. Mel is very fun because it's really hard to mess up the CS as well, you know?
I think a lot of people would disagree with you from solo queue.
No?
No, yeah, absolutely. Mel is really fun.
To play, not to play against necessarily.
True, yeah.
I mean, I don't really enjoy it when the enemy Mel rebuts my skill shot back to me exactly perfectly where I was standing and then stuns me. And then she roots me, and then she Qs me, and then she presses R and I die. Yeah, I don't enjoy that part as much. I try not to shoot skill shots at her because of that.
That does make sense. Zeka trying to support Kanavi, and he's asking Kanavi, am I doing a good enough job? Kanavi says no, but he's still dead. And Pyosik is going to pick up that kill. And this is where, you know, if HLE can't get that snowball rolling, you can see them getting a lot of trouble. And now Zeka trying to ult his way out. He is going to get the Q3 and not even have to flash.
I think Hanwha Life eSports, you know, they've been figured out by DNS a little bit here. They're like, wow, they seem to be playing this particular style that they have been playing all year. I don't know what Odin said to them, but it seems like they're really, you know, quite, they've downloaded them. They know the strategy, and they are going to play around it quite well in this early game. Punishing Kanavi twice now. Getting a kill the second time as well.
I wonder how Delight feels playing Seraphine.
Yeah, it is a weird look.
This sometimes happens in League, especially in the pro scene, where it's like, you made your career playing engaged champions or something else like, you know, Akali. They're just going to die Peter, by the way, as deokdam says, no, the hell with that, I'm running away. He flashes and dies anyway. And now deokdam says, you know what?
deokdam's like, he won't go back in, right? He will go back in, by the way. Yeah,
he's still here. And not rebuttable there, as Guma will avoid a lot of the damage, and Kanavi eventually picks up the kill. At least they got that, but DuDu with Pyosik able to get the kill here once again on the Zeus, who is now 0-2. I
think this is better for Hanwha Life eSports because the Mel is very far behind. The Rell pick into Ashe Seraphine, we didn't talk about it too much. It was kind of a questionable choice. We've seen Rell picked up a few times here in the LCK. It's not really working at all, despite the buffs. Now, they do get this kill on the Zeus, which is the second of the game. This is going to push DuDu into a further lead. The thing is that Annie will also kind of still do a lot of things later on in the game by just pressing R, and she can do that whenever she wants, unlike Gnar, who kind of has to go in at a specific timing. This is not because he's Rell, it's just because they don't have their jungler down here, and deokdam was like, I think Kanavi's coming, which is what anyone would think at any time, frankly. So he was like, I'm getting out of here. His ultimate is not enough damage. Delight is able to block it. Gets some nice roots and does get the kill back. But he is so far behind in terms of farm right now. It's kind of unreal. It's only a 500 gold lead for the Ashe when the dust settles here because of that kill that he picked up, but still not having a fun time. Not playing the game like he would like to, or really at all. Good root, though.
I mean, at the end of the day, you know, you're playing Mel. You expect to do very well into this duo on paper. But if you die a bunch and you can't farm, you know, you can rebut some stuff. But are you doing all that much as the game comes along? Are you doing as much as the Ashe Seraphine will in team fights? I mean, I guess we'll have to see what's rebuttable and what is not. As the team fights do happen. Zeus is looking for revenge.
Like I said, he can do things even when he's behind on gold. He's just going to press stun buttons.
Now Q3, you see that Clozer thinks, maybe I can get this kill on Yone. No, you cannot.
Nope, but he tried.
Zeus gets the kill.
And it was fairly close, but Zeus just abandons lane and goes down to drop a bear. And it hurt a lot, and it stunned. And the follow-up from Zeka was pretty phenomenal there. The practically max range ultimate to re-engage. He's pretty good at Yone. And Annie is pretty simple when you're able to sneak through vision like that.
Yeah. Also, Annie doesn't really care if she's behind, you know. Yeah. She still does the same thing. It's like, okay, you got 2 kills. You're getting your team ahead. That's still good. But Annie still has Flash now and Tibbers. So
yes,
she's going to find value somehow.
That's precisely the thing I was saying earlier about how it just doesn't matter comparatively. Is couldn't rebut in time because Peter was too far forward, but it was a cool idea. Nice try, Duckers. It's sad that I always call him Duckers when he's having a hard time. I kind of wish I was calling him Duckers when he was dominating. I mean, I did. I just wasn't at Worlds.
Sometimes.
I was yelling Duckers at the TV screen a lot, though.
Yeah. This time, Zeka, in a little bit of trouble, might have to flash. Is trying not to.
Oh, that's at the very end! My God! And Kanavi is here, of course.
Yeah, of course he's here. I don't think he gets this kill on a Pyosik, though. He's going to put up the shield, and Delight is here as well. He was holding that flash for so long because, of course, he needed it for the Cataclysm.
That was insane. We need to see it again. I know nobody died, replay guy, but we got to see it again. Ooh, Clozer's rooted. That was actually kind of scary. Zeka's ult is a few seconds away, though. Could have been a opportunity there for the Yone to follow up. As, yeah, Duckers, you don't want to fight the Ashe. He knows that. He doesn't need me to tell him. He doesn't want to fight the Pantheon either.
Well, he's going to rebut and flash. This time, Zeus finds himself a Pyosik once again. Pyosik's doing a really good job of getting that kill, at least, as now they're diving. For some reason, DuDu did not expect Kanavi to dive between the turrets, but he did. Maybe he just couldn't get away in time. And Mel is quite slow without a flash. And HLE are going to get that turret.
Peter pressed his buttons, but I don't know if he was really helping or if he was just reminding everyone that he's in Rell prison, which is playing Rell into this composition and being able to do nothing. This flash, incredible on the auto. Unable to connect there. Kanavi, is he punished?
I think so.
I think he has no flash.
This time with Pyosik here, they are going to get Kanavi, and they're going to give the kill over to Clozer. He's getting some fruit. I mean, Pyosik, you got to help your buddy out. And Clozer does get the kill at the end of the day.
That was almost a very scary situation, but never for a second did I think Kanavi was going to live there. No. But he did a lot of healing, and that was, you know, Sundered Sky plus Honey Fruit equals. Suddenly, Pyosik is turning around. This Gnar has 2 kills, and DuDu is going to actually potentially be a side lane threat in this game if they don't shut him down here in this mid game. So the Gnar is actually really the one big key part of this composition here for DNS, and the Mel. It's not quite the same thing with Annie, where it could be 1,500 gold behind and still be relevant, but if the game goes super late, eventually that deficit will mean less, and the Mel will still do a lot of things, and the ultimate will still be high value. deokdam's going to grab a plate here as the 2 1,500 gold behind players are now set to fight against each other, and deokdam likes those odds for him in this matchup.
A lot of range in Annie generally going to feel pretty good. Zeka just... he's still doing Yone things. He doesn't really seem to care. Clozer's just trying to exist. And it's not even like Zeka got, you know, super fed or anything. He's just really good at Yone, and they haven't found a way to punish him at all. They haven't set him behind, and that's where the Yone thrives. Doesn't need to be super fed.
Yone with tier 3 boots was something that we talked a lot about early on when role quests came out. And also, like, very briefly when we had feats of strength and stuff, it was occasionally brought up. But very powerful for Yone. Hasn't been that relevant this season because he's been very fringe, almost like not even fringe, honestly, this season. But it is very powerful, as you can see on display in that trade against Clozer.
Yeah, Yone was played one time and banned once, it looks like. Oh no, just picked. Zeus is getting dove here once again, not a big surprise. deokdam going to pick up that kill as Pyosik is giving them a piece of Kanavi's medicine.
Bully the Annie. DuDu is like, I know they're coming for me. I know Kanavi has ult. I'm not going to try to survive under turret. I'm just going to let the turret go. And you know what? This is the correct choice. Now, it will probably cost them first brick because there's no resources given to deokdam to win that race on the bottom side, but they are going to get the dragon. So it will be a 2 Drake leader. A very late second dragon at 15 minutes. See what the soul is going to be. Ooh, Chemtech. Bit of a low roll on that one.
Yeah. Pretty unfortunate. Their whole comp is kind of not great with Chemtech.
I guess
they have some
Jarvan is gonna enjoy it, sort of.
Yeah.
I'm reaching.
Definitely one of the worst ones. Let's say like bottom 20% of comps that I've seen that could potentially get Chemtech Soul. There are some really good ones, but not this one.
Yeah, unfortunately not. Much better for Hanwha Life eSports.
Guess what? They're diving Zeus.
Yeah, I don't know if I need to say it. We're watching it.
TP's coming in, and they're a little bit late on the play, but still going to feel pretty good. Nice, Yone ult in a 3, but he's still alone. He's still going in, though, and he will bind his soul back up.
He kind of almost made it work, though. Kanavi does have ultimate, but I mean, is he going to die between the turrets? My instinct says yes, actually. My instinct says yes, he is going to go.
This is a win for HLE. I mean,
yeah,
3 tier 1.
He really wants to catch these stragglers.
Bot overgrowth, bot tier 1. Like, yes, you killed the Annie 5 times, but what did it cost? As that's a big rebut. They're going to get the Seraphine, but unfortunately, doesn't do all too much else. Clozer is going to come on over, though, and Kanavi is trying to punish deokdam, and eventually he will. Zeka also a little bit too deep, and this time they call the bluff again, and Guma is still mid.
Yeah, Guma's getting a lot of money. He is about to be like 2,400 gold ahead, but
he didn't get the memo on the bot dive, though.
Yeah, he tried to arrow as okay. Yeah, that's doesn't really matter too much, but you do you. You know, get that Azir out of here. Defend your turret. So this is where the arrow comes through from Guma to try to defend, as you can see on the minimap. And he dies so quickly that it doesn't matter that Zeka comes through here. Now his ultimate is
killing him again.
Phenomenal, and yeah, I mean, is he worth gold?
Oh, they're not gonna get him actually. They got the anti-flash at least.
I guess at this point, you know, Guma doesn't have any turrets to push towards, so it's a low-cost play to try to get him this time. I'm starting to wonder though if this comp for Hanwha Life eSports really cares if the Annie is 2.2k gold ahead. If Guma doesn't hit the champions this game, he's hit the objectives a lot. Now he's ready to hit the champions. Now he's here. Yeah. He would like to shoot them.
Just got a couple items and a pickaxe, you know. He's making his presence felt. He's with the team.
All right, Herald dropped. Looking to take another inner off the map. Already got the mid one. Need to be careful of overextending here.
This is Delight. He's so dead. I mean, that was very interesting. Pyosik, though, pays the price. And I guess it was a bait all along, or maybe not. Kanavi is also going to go down. Very confusing passage of play.
Wanted to set up a Gnar there, but didn't have flash. Is not able to close the gap. But they really need to be careful here. And, you know, this Mel composition will rip you apart if you get stuck and can't escape. They are able to get out, but...
Guma's like, this is why I stay mid. This is what happens when I join the fights. Like, you guys do crazy things.
Yeah, I just don't understand the reasoning behind the Seraphine going in there. Maybe Delight was, like, hoping he could pop out then ult everybody, but he gets interrupted, obviously.
Too.
I mean, I think it's pretty obvious that he was not going to be able to set that up, but... Clozer finds a nice angle here, and then DuDu is unable to find the angle he wanted on the left side there. If he actually catches Guma, could have been a huge disaster. Zeka is realizing, wait a minute, I should not go forward. I always go forward with Kanavi, but Kanavi is not here anymore, so I should go backwards. And then he ults away. This gold lead is 500. Like, it is a small gold lead, and it's all in structures. Kills are 12-6 for DNS. And this Mel is 2,000 gold behind, but she's kind of hitting the champions.
Doing her job. As now Clozer finding out what Kanavi does. Zeus comes in and picks up his second kill. He's now 2-5, just like Kanavi.
This game. It's time to rework Pantheon again.
HLE, they have 2 champions that are 2-5, and yet they are ahead 1,000 gold. Does not matter.
Yeah. I'm looking forward to seeing Gumayusi team fight. Then this 1,000 gold lead will feel like a lot bigger one.
Right. I think he wants that IE. Well, I know he wants the IE.
Yeah, I think that's a reasonable assumption.
Can he get it on time for,
not for this dragon.
The next big team fight?
But they have a lot of prio here. DuDu does not have teleport. Pyosik does have his ultimate. Zeka also could TP in, but they're giving away control over the dragon. Hanwha Life eSports a little bit timid to actually team fight here.
TP though. Gonna be used in mid. I mean, maybe they don't want to go all in on this Drake, but Kanavi's still here, and we got a blast cone for Zeus, so I think they still want to go in on the play. Gnar very nicely timed for DuDu. Just gonna wait, and now they're gonna target Kanavi, and in goes Zeus. He's pulled back by the Rell, but still, that's gonna be the ante down. A steal here from Kanavi, picks up the objective, and they also got Pyosik, so DNS trying to get out Kanavi. Once more, action flashes the wrong way, and he will not find that action.
These fights are really close, and deokdam ends up getting another kill here. It's Kanavi. Okay.
Where's he going? Well, they're all here, and I think he just realized that, and he does not have his shield. The rest of his team is north of him.
He says, cannot see enemy champion, must resort to farm Krugs.
And all of a sudden, deokdam is 6-2.
Yeah, like, this is not really what I meant when I said, like, if we get to later on in the game, like, he'll still do a lot of things. So, DuDu here gets a ton of damage put into him. Zeus actually ends up finding this flank out, gets the double stun, and then the ultimate actually doesn't hit Pyosik here from Zeka. And Clozer is trying to kite back here. He has his Emperor's Divide, but deokdam is able to get the kill, and then they need to leave. And then he still sticks around, Kanavi here. I guess he was gonna save those. He's like, I needed to get those minions.
I mean, his whole team is in the enemy jungle, so I guess he was just like, oh, they must have backed. A nice hide-and-seek play from DNS.
Hide on bush.
Yes.
Or over the wall. In a bush. Well, now we're looking at a siege here. I mean, there's a lot of turrets left on the map here. DNS could take a gold lead.
Ooh! That flash was very close. Like, the arrow was basically halfway through him. And they still want something. I mean, ult in just barely stuck down. Yeah.
Was pretty huge. We very rarely see that actually get people out on some of these picks, but actually ends up saving him. Reminds me of Gale Force so much.
Yeah.
DuDu is getting a lot of damage done to this turret. This gold lead is actually fake because once this turret goes down and the top turret goes down, it will actually not be a gold lead. And they're both very close to going down. And I'm still waiting for Gumayusi to hit the enemy champions. He's kind of getting outpaced by the front line of his team, who are going very deep. Now he's going to hit a Baron, so that basically counts.
Just do the Baron. This is pretty risky. I mean, Pyosik is right here, and he's going to spot with his flag that they're doing it. And now Zeka going to miss his knock-up, as Pyosik is going to flag Dragon to steal it away in front of them. Although the Seraphine ult gets massive value. Couple of kills there for HLE as DNS do not commit to the play, but at least Pyosik was able to steal the objective.
Bit of a potential trap here. They're like, Kanavi goes in on these. Oh, Clozer.
Well, this time, yeah. You can't rebut those as Azir. Kanavi gonna find a Gnar eventually. Looks like maybe they don't want to go in on the Gnar as they have major paths straight down the mid lane.
Yeah, this is a big problem. Clozer is down for 30 more seconds. They should be able to get this inhibitor at the very least. And I think deokdam actually mistimed his ultimate there. A decent amount of wave clear. Looks like they will be able to defend the inhibitor. I thought for sure that was going down with 5 in the mid lane. Big clap from the audience. I'm not sure if it's because HLE were able to get that value or if because DNS saved the inhibitor, but that's the kind of game state we're in right now. I think for DNS fans, they're happy for that inhibitor defense and also for the steal here, as this is Pyosik dodging the Q3, has like some honey fruit here, gets in, gets it at what, 64 it looks like there. And then the Rell engage is pretty good, but there's definitely no follow-up here as everyone else has to run away. The Seraphine ult helps him secure 2 kills. And then Clozer doesn't have flash this time for the arrow. That does connect. And Kanavi, not 100% sure when deokdam ulted. I thought he just mistimed it during the shield there, but actually still couldn't see in the replay. But ultimately Kanavi does survive. Now actually has a maul.
You can see that this game has been very close. The gold difference have been up and down, but it's been very close the entire time as Kanavi is going on in, frontlining here into Pyosik, who's just trying to disengage. Spear not going to land, and they will effectively disengage here.
The Mel poke is hitting hard at this point.
Here comes Zeus. He's got flash. He's got Proto Belt. And he's looking to party. He's going to find absolutely nobody, but he's still going to go in as the stun doesn't quite land. Zeus dies, and he's got Clozer, but the double stun comes in. And now the Seraphine catches 2. The 2 super low members. And man, Delight is going to save this team fight as DNS stuck around a little bit too long with those health bars.
I think Hanwha Life eSports are ready to end the game. They'll push down this mid lane. This time the inhibitor will surely fall as deokdam is Mel. Trying to clear this wave here, but another one is coming. The Baron is actually really helpful here for DNS because they have it defensively with a negative 2,500 Red Bull power play, and they are going to take the Drake. Still, getting that mid inhibitor finally here is massive. So much is going on at the beginning of this fight. Like Zeus goes through, misses everybody, actually just barely gets that stun off onto Clozer. Then the follow-up here from Zeka is amazing, but the ult comes through from deokdam. And then DuDu has this play, but watch the Seraphine ultimate here from Delight. Even with the flash from the Gnar, he's caught by it. Pyosik also caught. deokdam doesn't have his ult anymore. Has to look for the greedy back here, and he actually will get away with it. If they find him, maybe they actually can end the game. Yeah, but he's able to defend. They lose the inhibitor. It's now a very, very strong game state here for Hanwha Life eSports because the gold lead has actually really materialized at this point, and it's no longer just the Ashe with the 2,000 gold lead. Zeka's having an amazing game here on this Yone, and he's got 4 kills, and now the inhibitor means that they're going to have prio for the entire map, basically, and they can continue to push up deep vision. There's no objective for a while here, which is good news for DNS, and it's also good news for them that it's only 2 Chemtech Dragons that HLE have right now. And they have to really put all their eggs in the Mel basket now.
At least the Chemtech Dragons do things for HLE, it feels like, with the Seraphine, and Yone and Pantheon can get a lot of work done from low health, but yeah, not the most interesting Chemtech soul we've had for sure. But I mean, Delight's doing a lot of work on the Seraphine, so maybe if he picks up 4 Chemtech Drakes in this one, can absolutely keep his team alive very well. And HLE are just kind of pushing top
I would
lane.
like HLE to just push vision and set traps and not dive at 27.5 minutes into the game into inner turrets into a Mel, Azir, Jarvan. That's, I mean, maybe I'm asking a lot. I'm a little bit.
I think you are.
I'm kind of myself telling these world champions, what I would like to see from them, but maybe I'm not thinking about their feelings, what they would like to do in this game. But I think if they want to close this game out cleanly, which they're in a great position to do, they could just slow it down for a moment. And remember that they have a 4-item Ashe, a 3-item Yone, and the objectives will bring DNS to them, actually. DNS will have to show up. The Baron is spawning in 65 seconds. I think Hanwha Life eSports have gotten my memo here. Not actually true, I'm not giving them information, but...
Wolf actually ran down with the little piece of paper. Like an actual memo.
I put it like over the mini-map.
Yeah.
I was like, look at this.
Please read. 5 exclamation marks.
Gonna have to play through this mid super minion now to get prio to now start to challenge this Baron in 40 seconds. And I think they will be able to jockey for it.
Oh boy. Yeah, they're just looking for picks here. Clozer. Oh, Peter actually blocked that one. It's a little funky. Gonna throw in a Seraphine ult, but that is Azir, so he just gets away.
DuDu is gonna back here and does have teleport. Will not have his Gnar bar anymore. Actually picks up Wit's End. That's a really big item for him to grab right before a potential Baron fight. a lot of tools, except Tibbers, all of them, in terms of ultimates, are down for Hanwha Life eSports now in that attempted dive. But they still have Prio, so that's good. They're backing, so they will give up Prio. It's only 2 members backing, only 0 members backing, or 1 member backing. But they gave Prio over to DNS, who do have most of their ultimates and are ready to fight.
The team fight from DNS is definitely pretty scary. A lot of their damage is certainly AP with Azir and Mel, and it does feel like DuDu's kind of shoring up a lot of the attack damage. Not a lot of tanky members, in fact, basically none on the side of HLE, so it doesn't necessarily matter, but yeah, if they stick together as a ball, and you know, they get a big Rell ult and a big sweep, you know, could see DNS pull off a big team fight, but HLE, we've seen they're not willing to play that game. They just keep looking for these weird plays, these picks.
Luckily for HLE,
plays.
Like they were given enough time because DNS grouped and cleared vision but didn't actually threaten the Baron, that now they've got their ults back. We're kind of playing this tug of war where a team clears vision, gets control of the Baron pit, and then they're like, well, I'll go back to base now, and it's your turn to get vision up. And
any more wards for the next time?
Yes, exactly.
Control.
So like 3 control wards, 4 control wards picked up here now for DNS. And it's HLE are like, all right, Baron vision is mine.
Time to back and get some more control wards.
The dragon spawns in 50 seconds. This Mel is so scary. I mean, again, 2,000 gold behind Guma, but it doesn't really matter that much if he can keep hitting the poke, you know, extend, because Ashe won't be able to do that. She needs to be in range to hit the enemy champions, whereas deokdam can kind of do it constantly. It's really powerful, especially if the enemy team is doing Baron and you can toss in that damage over the wall, especially with some of that MR shred on the Baron.
Clozer just TP'd from the base after picking up a Fiendish Codex, and now the ults. Nice flash there from deokdam to get away as they're looking for the angles. They're still going for this Mel, the Seraphine ult, a total whiff, but now they're going to turn their sights on this guy on the left here. Clozer all alone, but a big sweep gets 2, and that's a double kill for Clozer, but it's still not enough as they have not dealt with Gumayusi and this gigantic Yone. Double kill for Guma, and HLE still win the fight.
HLE win the fight. Guma is untouched. He's hitting the champions. He has a perfect KDA. He is the only member of these 10 who is deathless on the Rift. And finally, he gets to play the game and do a lot of damage. 5k plus in that fight. Now, trying to end. deokdam has a lot of wave clears. This has been the story of these attempts, and it looks like the wave will be cleared again. One more is coming through. Guma's taking turret damage.
That was a reflected Seraphine ability as well, straight into Guma. And, okay, it's all up to Zeka, really. He just flashes on top of deokdam. It's essentially zoning, and he'll put him in the death chamber as well. As the Yone, they could never deal with him. And he was too much to deal with at the very end as well. 2-0 to Hanwha Life eSports over DNS. At least the second game was closer.
Definitely the closest game of the day. And it didn't feel like it was supposed to be, but it kind of became that way.